The first thing you should focus on is choosing the right national park. I am often asked, you travel to different national parks, which is the park that you would recommend for a first timer? India is a home for some of the most diverse and beautiful wildlife parks, and each has its own charm. Now, if you want to spot a tiger, head to Ranthambore, Tadoba, Bandhavgarh, or Kana. For Asiatic lions, Sasangir in Gujarat is the place to go. If birding is your interest, then head to Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary. And for spotting of one-horned rhino and elephants, Kaziranga in Assam and Dudhwa in Uttar Pradesh is unmatched. Research each of this park as per your interest and then head towards it. Now you know which national park you are going to. Another important factor that you should consider is when you should go to these national parks. Now every season has its own charm, but to view the wildlife in the best form, October to June is when you should travel to these national parks. Avoid monsoon season as most of the parks are closed and the sightings are limited. Dry season, specifically from around March to May, is where you stand a chance to spot most of the animals as they likely to come to the water holes. Always check on the specific park timings as they keep changing as per the season. You now know when you are traveling to the national park. The next important thing is the permits and accommodation. Now you will say, I've hardly remembered the name of these national parks. Now what is this permit booking? Permits are nothing but a ticket to enter to these national parks. Now all national parks will have different requirements for their permits of entering into the park, as different time limits and limited number of permits. So you should book this in advance, especially when it comes to going during the peak season. Accommodations are usually outside the forest area. You have options from luxury tents to eco-friendly lodges. Always book the permits and accommodation well before time, specifically if you are planning to travel during the peak season. Now what to pack? Packing smart is the key to enjoying your wildlife safari. Stick to muted colored clothing. Think of green, brown, beige. Bright or loud colors can disturb the wildlife. Don't forget to carry a hat, sunscreen, insect repellent, binocular, and a good camera. Walking shoes is very important. It is helpful during a walking safari or a short trek. Don't forget to carry your belongings in a small backpacking bag. And very important, use a refillable water bottle and stay hydrated. So the last and the most important thing to remember when you are planning your first safari is to know the safari etiquettes. Respect the wildlife and its surrounding. Listen to your guide, be respectful to the animals, and keep the noise as minimum as possible. Remember, you are at animals' home, so be respectful and patient. Safari sightings are never guaranteed. It is the thrill in the journey and not the destination. So, if you are still stuck in taking your next safari, feel free to reach out to us. We are more than happy to guide you and plan your first safari.